Hey, it's David Perdue. This is mynames.com and the Novice to Advanced Marketing System. I would like to say that this is Wednesday's weekly live training, but it's not. It's Friday's weekly live training, part 2. We got so overwhelmed with information from Paul last week about, from Paul Counts about Clickbank and what you could do with it, and people's eyeballs were dropping out of their heads and their mouths were hitting the floor. And we had 9 bullet points to go through, and we got through 1. So we decided a part 2 was in order. And so we're back 2 days later, and Paul is going to rock it this afternoon. He covered a lot of material last week, and I'm going to give him like 3 minutes to just cover what he covered in that hour. And then we're going to pick up today and jump right in and learn the nuts and bolts of setting up on Clickbank and how you can create multiple streams of income on Clickbank. Now, let me tell you how important this is and how impressed I am with what he's been able to do with Clickbank. I've booked a flight to go to Seattle to be with Paul in June, the first weekend of June, and we're going to spend some time figuring out how we can partner together and get a lot of our NAMS material out on Clickbank as another stream of income. So we're both very excited about that. A joint venture made right there on the Hangout last week. Paul, thanks. I'm glad you're here again.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here again. We had a blast on Wednesday. We actually had another joint venture happen. A couple people that are involved in the horse niche market.
We did.
They decided to partner up. So what we covered, in regards to these partnerships is how you don't have to be an expert in every field. So if you know somebody with knowledge and abilities that you do not have, then you can partner with them. So for example, I'm partnered with a pro baseball player. I'm partnered with a videographer, with a filmmaker, with a fitness trainer. So I'm able to be in all these niche markets because I know how to get a product live on Clickbank, how to set up a sales page, how to set up a thank you page, and how to set up a one-time offer. So I know how to do those things. So I add value to them into that partnership. So I don't have to be somebody that's an expert in all things. And Clickbank has a cool joint venture feature. So that's what we spent a lot of time talking about. We introduced Clickbank. They've been around 16 years, and they're not an old company. They're an older company, but they're not outdated. Some people just think because they don't hear about it often that they're outdated, and they're absolutely not. In fact, they're really just growing. Another thing
things that you said, Paul, last week that I was really impressed with is, first is that the Clickbank has so much non-internet marketing niche material out there, and people are always looking for work, and I find affiliate programs. Clickbank's a great place to go for that. And the other thing that you really impressed me with last week was that partnerships between 2 product creators. Well, you as somebody who, for example, in your baseball niche, you are not a baseball player, but you can partner with somebody in a baseball niche and be able to drive another income stream from that niche. So you're diversified incredibly well, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it creates incredible diversification. So if for whatever reason the internet marketing space got shut down, I'm still going to have money going in the baseball niche, in the fitness space, in the sports niche, in the filmmaking sector. And so that's the power of it, is that it doesn't, like Clickbank is about 14% or so, 15% of their business is internet marketing. The rest is all the other niche markets, and they're doing 30,000 sales a day. So they're a big company making a lot of sales, a lot of transactions happen. So there's a lot of money to be made on this marketplace.
Cool. And the other thing that you said last week that I really loved about Clickbank was the ability for people to actually work together in that non-IM niche. And we have all of those people in the insiders group or in the My NAMS community. Most of the people that we have in the NAMS community are not in the internet marketing niche. So it really got me excited about that. And let's see, there's one other thing that you said about this last week, and I just wanted to catch it real quickly, was that you said it already, but you do not have to be an expert, and you really make this work if you know how to do those back-end system pieces, right? And so what you're going to teach people is all of that, correct?
Exactly. That's what I'm going to teach them all now, is lay out the system and go from that point on. Yep.
On your own, buddy. Let's go.
All right. Awesome. Let's jump in here. We got a lot of material. All right. Actually, let me kick open the slide here. So slideshow from current slide. And then
now you have a special deal for people today too. As last week you introduced a really sweet deal, but today you've got a really special deal for people at the end of this. So they really need to stay right here.
Very special deal. Yep, most definitely. Yeah, it's an extremely special deal.
And we had a bunch of questions come in to me, actually, that I wanted to make sure we covered today as well. But we'll do that over time, all right? So when you're ready, just run it through.
Okay, sounds good. And then, yeah, just let me know as you get the questions come in.
Okay, I'm seeing me on the screen.
Yep, and do you see my screen now?
Nope.
You don't. Oh my goodness. See, this is not a how to start a webinar training. So, so let's go up here to
not webinar.
Yeah, that's right. I'm good at what I know. So, all right. So entire screen, you should be seeing. I think we're seeing you now. Now you should be seeing.
There you go.
Screen.
Now you're seeing. Now you are seeing the slide presentation, and we've already got a question. Is this going to be recorded? And it
Yes.
absolutely is recorded. It'll be on our weekly live training replay pages. But we want you to stay here because I'm sure Paul's got some kind of a fast action thing going for you as well. So stay till the end.
Definitely. All right. So let's jump in here. We're going to talk again about launching your info product empire on Clickbank. So as we already talked about, we talked about partnerships. And now I'm going to reveal to you my Clickbank launch system. There's 9 different steps here. The first one, which we actually covered in detail on the last session, was niche selection. So that's all about getting traffic from various niche, what kind of niche markets you should be selling into, whether it's sports, how to choose the perfect niche market for you. So we covered that. And now we're going to talk about how to create your info product or how to create an info product with a partnership, and then how to do your sales funnel outline, including what you should offer as a bonus. And I'm actually going to reveal to you guys my actual product outline that I use for whatever products that I'm creating. So we'll also cover, again, all those steps to create your product, the front end and the upsells, how to get that material online, your thank you page, creating your sales page or your pitch page as it's called in Clickbank, and then setting up that OTO, submitting to Clickbank, and categorizing your product. And probably the most important aspect that you should really work on mastering is how to recruit those affiliate partners, because that is your traffic source. That is how you're going to get eyeballs to your product and how you're going to make sales. So I'm going to talk about those as well. And then as David mentioned, we have a very special opportunity for those on this call. So as you see, there's a lot to cover yet, even though this is part 2. So I'm going to jump right in and we're going to make some good things happen here. So step number 2, again, step number 1 of the process was selecting your niche market. So by this point, you should know what category you're going into, whether it's baseball or golf. So after you select your niche, it's time to create your digital product. Decide what format you want to deliver that product in. So here's some examples of types of products. Ebooks, those are very common. So an ebook is usually about 20 to 50 pages plus, in that range. It's obviously, we're all familiar with what an ebook is. It's a digital book, for those not familiar, in PDF format. So it's kind of like a Word document, but in PDF format. Video courses, which can be similar to what you're watching right now. PowerPoint slide, just like this. And then a step-by-step screen capture training, where it's kind of over the shoulder, which is, this is how I'm setting things up as I'm going through the process. Live demonstrations. So those could be things like exercise routines. So a live demonstration for a video course would be using a video camera, and you can actually use an HD, quality camera, like on your cell phone even, because they shoot in very good footage. They do a really nice job. You can also rent cameras. I've actually rented some cameras. You can write this one down. A very high-end cameras from a company called lensrentals.com. They ship the camera to me. I rent them for a couple days. I do my thing with them, and then I send them back. And I don't have to spend 10 grand on this super expensive camera. I could actually rent it for a couple $100s for the weekend. And so if you go to lensrentals.com, that's just a little insider tip to write down. And I use that source. It works really well for me because I'm able to use super high-quality cameras without having to spend, without having to own them or spend the 5 to 10 grand, because I'm not one that's going to use them that often. So that's one strategy. Or you could just use your cell phone to do like live demonstrations on how to care for your horse, or how to train your dog, or how to eat right, those kind of things. Audio courses, those are basically, where you're just speaking. So it'd be just the audio version of kind of what you're seeing here. So you could actually go to like a free teleconferencing line. You could use Skype for that as well and just record the audio version. You could just speak into your computer. I use a Logitech USB headset. So that's a Logitech USB headset. You can find them on Amazon or Staples or wherever you shop for your computer type stuff. So a Logitech USB headset works great for what I do, and it allows you to get good, clear audio sound, and you can just record that. And there's a software out there called Audacity, which is free. And one thing that I also encourage if you're going to offer an audio course is that you transcribe them. So that means you hire somebody to basically dictate everything you said onto a Word document, or you could do it yourself. If you don't have the resources to outsource, but I would recommend outsourcing that because it's going to add value to your offer. A series of short reports. So some people offer products instead of like one large ebook, they might offer 4 or 5 short reports together. One thing that I've done before and have had great success, and that is live webinar training. So that's another form of a product you can create. And Clickbank is actually becoming more on board with that kind of stuff. So you could have an ongoing coaching type program. So you don't have to have everything done, but you could have 6 sessions that you're going to do and you sell people into it, and then it makes you get your product done. So at the end of it, you're actually going to have your product finished up. Now, coaching services, you can offer that. That could be everything from life coaching to self-improvement, expert interviews. So that could be like I get David on the phone and I do an interview with him on how he's making money doing live events or other things, and that could be an info product.
Which we're doing next Thursday.
Yes, awesome. You're gonna have a training on that?
That's right.
Perfect. That's fantastic. Yeah. So that's an info product, and that's stuff that could sell well on Clickbank. Services, you could do certain kinds of services like article writing services, graphic design, those types of things. But we're here more to talk about creating your actual product. And we're going to really cover as if we're creating a video course or an ebook, because those are traditionally what I seem to be selling the most of on Clickbank and doing the best at. So first thing is you want to create your outline for your research. And this goes for any information product that you're going to create. So you're going to want to take notes here. So you want to look for at least 4 main subject points that you can hit on within this. And then each of these main subject points are going to become your chapter. And I actually have an example on the upcoming slides for you. And I'm going to actually show you exactly a product outline I used for a self-improvement type product that I recently had someone create. So below each subject point, you're going to include 4 to 5 additional points that you can actually hit on. And so again, this will be an example for a self-improvement product. So what I've done here is I've created 4 different modules. So what I've got is module 1, which is covering what is self-improvement. So that's kind of the introduction to the product that I'm talking about. So you could be saying, what is, basically something about introduction to hitting a baseball, that kind of thing, like the basics of that, or introduction to curing your golf slice, or taking care of your horses, whatever market you're going after. It could be a blogging product. Maybe you're somebody that's an expert at blogging, so you're going to talk about why blogging is important right here. So module 1, it basically is going to kind of do an introduction. So we're going to define here what self-improvement is, kind of what categories we're going to cover from here. So we're going to introduce people to, there's 5 core elements to blogging. There's 5 core elements to training your dog properly. Here's 5 core elements to self-improvement: financial, health, spiritual, relationships, time management. So that kind of is just short little summaries of each of those bullet points, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to jump right into module 2, which goes right down this list now. So this is actually very similar to how I create PowerPoint slides too. So I go through and I decide, what do I want to cover? And then on each slide, you've kind of seen as I've gone through these transitions, I introduce you to what I'm going to talk about. As you just saw previously, I had launched my Clickbank system, and or how to launch my my Clickbank launch system. And so you saw that I scripted out the 9 steps, and each one of these now I'm expanding on them. So step number 2 was just listed there as create your, get your product created. But now I'm showing you exactly how to get that product created. And so that's where, part of creating your product is having a good outline. So module number 2 would go into improve yourself financially. And so here are key steps to improve your finances. So I would say, obviously budgeting is important. Starting a home business is a way people could improve their finance. So you could talk about that in more detail. Alternative income streams, sell your non-needed assets, investing, and then ways to get out of debt and stay out of debt. So those could be ways that you cover how to improve yourself financially. So you could actually expand on each one of these into separate portions of your product. So each module could be a separate entire video course. Like when I do video courses, I will call, each module would be a separate video. And so that way it looks better. Instead of me having one long video that I can sell that's maybe 2 hours long or 3 hours long, it could actually be a module that is, basically that each module becomes a separate product. So if I have 5 modules, I have 5 video courses that I'm selling. Even though each one is smaller, it looks better to the consumer because they're going, oh, wow, this is good content. Plus, it's easier for them to actually go through the material because they may not have time to sit for 3 hours, but they could sit for 30 minutes or so to go through that portion of it. So that's exactly the process I go through. Is this making sense? I'm hoping to how we go through this.
Oh yeah, it actually a lot of sense. And Kathy already said, is this information will be included in what she's in the course that she's already purchased, correct? And
exactly, in detail.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep, in very big detail. And let me just close down my Skype real quick. We're gonna keep seeing that buzzing through here. Hopefully it's closed now. So then, yeah, exactly. So this is all included, and we're going to cover this in even more detail just because we're limited on time here. But module, again, so then I go on to different modules. So module 3, I break that up into improving your health. And as we go back here, you'll remember I went in the introduction, I covered financial, which is covered here, and then health. And so that's why I'm just going down my list here. So health, you would cover things like dieting, exercise, supplements, natural health methods, isogenics, managing stress. Those kind of things could go into improving your health.
Nice little subliminal there. Like that.
Yeah. Great, huh? Module number 4 would be like spiritual growth, like, things that are important, like worship, Bible study, finding a group of like-minded people, those types of things. Then module 5 would cover relationships. So steps to improve relationships. So you could cover that, listening skills, understanding other people. And again, each one of these is something you would expand on. I always start any product with an outline though, because you're not going to know what to cover until you have an outline. And this kind of, what I find for me is that this prevents that some people claim is writer's block. Now we have a good friend named Jeff Herring who claims writer's block is non-existent. And it is, but this kind of prevents anything from you getting foggy in the brain about what you're going to cover. At least you have something down because you have an outline. So it's easy for you to create that info product. And this works for an ebook. Actually, what I did here was for an ebook, but you could just as easily do this for a video product. If you picture that each of these would now be on a PowerPoint slide, and then you're just going to use a software to record it. You could even do, if you don't even have a screen capture software, you could even do a hangout with yourself or with a family member or with a significant other and just do a Google Hangout session with them and actually record that using Google's embedded tools to make your product. So there's so many ways you can create these info products using this. So again, module number 6 would be time management. And again, we go into more factors of time management. And then at the end, the final module, I always just do a close or an action step. And you're actually going to see me do that exact process with what we're doing here in this webinar. And that's where you would summarize everything again to tie it together. So right here, this is something that you guys can take with you. You guys could even take this exact outline and create your own self-improvement product just based on this if you want to. So you have my permission. So, so this would actually be a really good self-improvement product that you could actually start selling if you are knowledgeable about these areas, or you could actually do an interview series. And again, I'm thinking off the cuff here. You could do an interview series with the relationship expert, with somebody that's really good with time management, with somebody that's good with health, with somebody that's good on the spiritual side, maybe a pastor or something. You could go with a financial planner, and then you actually don't have to create any of these products, and you could actually just partner with people, or even just do the interview series where they don't even have to have skin in the game as far as profit. They just want exposure. So you could create a product that way using this very same outline, and then you could be selling into that lucrative self-improvement market. So
can I say something about this?
Yeah.
Because people get so afraid of creating products and how hard it is to create products. They build it up, how hard it is to create products. I got started doing NAMs almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And when I started putting together NAMs, I knew nothing. about building products. All I knew was that I knew how to write. That was it. I didn't know anything about video, anything about audio, anything about membership sites, anything about anything. And I didn't know how to put on an event. I'd done an event before. And so what I've done ever since is what we're doing, interviews with experts. And I've learned a ton along the way, and I know a lot now, and I coach people on what I know, but I didn't in the beginning. And how I learned is exactly how I'm doing this. And it is interviewing people who know, and then I'm creating products at the same time. I got a ton of products just because of this.
That's awesome. That's really good. Yeah, because you can have a ton of products, and then it's all about that diversified income and that multiple streams of income that's right. So important. Yeah. Definitely. And then as another part of step number 2 here about creating your product, is look at other products that are selling on Clickbank. So if you're really just drawing a blank as far as what to offer, some product, you can see what some of the more popular products are. Like, for example, the remedy market is exploding on Clickbank. And we covered that a little bit on the first session here. But this is like a product in the remedy space. Now you may say, well, how am I going to do this by reviewing this product? But if you're really serious, you'll sit there and you'll watch that video, because you're going to see how they're selling it, how they're positioning, and then what they're actually including in their product. So that might give you some ideas as, oh yeah, I could cover this area as well, in my particular training, because, it makes sense. One other little side tip, if you go to Amazon and use the look inside feature on any book, you can look at, especially like the dummies books, if the dummies guides, for like Dummies Guide to Weight Loss, Dummies Guide to Computers, whatever niche you're going into, there's probably a Dummies Guide for it. And just go to Amazon, use the look inside feature, and just make a note. Obviously, I'm not saying to copy what they have in there, but make a note, or, as far as what is included in there, as far as what they're covering by their chapters. And that might spur some ideas as to, oh yeah, I could include that in this module because I know about this. And it's really just kind of triggering your mind as to what you could include. Or what you're doing is you're also, you can co-collaborate with whoever you're partnering with. So like when I did the baseball product, I told them the gist of what I wanted to cover, just because I did my research and I saw what other baseball hitting products were covering. And then he actually added in some other things to it that I didn't have, because he has more knowledge in that. And then he came to the filming session where I rented one of those cameras, and he came there with a notepad just filled up with his product outline of what he's going to cover systematically. And we just went right down the list. We were actually done with that product in one day. So one day we created a product. We spent 4 hours. We went out and ate at a pizza place and had a good time. So in 4 hours, we created a product with him. Now, of course, it's taken a little more time because I'm doing some editing and stuff, just chopping up the videos. But as far as like the core product creation, that was all done in one day. So it's very simple. And the cool thing is I'm not a video editor, but I can use Camtasia, which is very simple. But that stuff I'm going to teach you more in depth at another time.
Paul, I just put a poll up on the poll tab inside the Webinar Gym sidebar here. Just click the polls, folks, and input yes, no, or in progress. I want to know how many people here have their own product already.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. That'll
be great to know. And then as you're going through the process, this rapid reflux relief, this is a product on, curing acid reflux. This person this is a huge niche market out there, because my wife actually suffered from this for a while until we found some other solutions. But there is, it's a very expensive problem. There's medicine out there, but it's $200 a month. Some of it adds up quick. And so people are excited if they can buy a $37 or $47 ebook on how to cure acid reflux. And so, that's kind of an idea of info products that people are all about. Anything that can help them, feel better and save money, it's a win-win. And so you can go through their sales pages, see what they're covering. You can see how they're pricing their products out, and, those kind of things. Does anybody on here know a naturopath? I'm sure, I asked this live and I actually got several hands. I'm sure somebody in here probably knows a naturopath, or they've worked with one, or you've visited one that you know of. I'm sure there's somebody that person is teaming with knowledge that you could partner with and you could do something with as a product in the remedy space. So more about creating your product. So ebooks, generally between 25 to 100 pages of content. Consider including images to spice it up. Obviously, people like to kind of break up their reading a little bit. Same goes for sales copy. Less is sometimes more with ebooks. So if you obviously, limit the fluff and just try and get to the point as much as you can. The tools, Microsoft Word, or you could use OpenOffice Writer, which is a free. It's free. It works kind of like Microsoft Word. So that's openoffice.org. So there's absolutely zero excuses for, you could also use Google Docs too. There's zero excuses for why you can't create a product because there's free tools out there for you. And then if you start with an outline, you're not going to run into that quote writer's block that some people think they have. Researching your topic, you can obviously use the internet, find relevant websites related to that, forums, watching videos and taking notes as far as, YouTube videos and getting ideas as to, what is included. And obviously you're going to pull from your own personal experiences or the personal experiences of the person you're partnering up with. So I'm going to just kind of jot through here. I talked about the table of contents on Amazon. I already touched on that. And then obviously taking notes for easy writing later. Even when I'm creating certain products, if I'm covering a certain subject matter that I know a lot about, and there's just something maybe brand new that's come out that I want to include in that, or that I want to start using myself, I'll learn about it, then I'll start implementing it, then I can start teaching on it, those kind of things. And so, that's one thing you can do. Another way to write that book that's simple is to record your voice and transcribe it yourself later on. So this is a quick strategy to get your book written faster because you can oftentimes talk faster than you can actually type. So use a free software like Audacity. Like for example, if I was smart, I would have my, actually I am smart. So I actually could take this recording and have somebody do this. What am I saying? So everything I'm saying here could actually be written into an ebook in a sense. So you could replay the recorded audio, again, transcribe it yourself by typing what you say, or better yet, just hire somebody or work with somebody to do this.
Well, the other thing there, Paul, is that this PowerPoint that you're using can be exported into a Word doc, and you create a checklist or something out of it.
That's exactly right. That's a really good tip. That is a really good tip because checklists make for perfect bonuses, so you can help round out your product package. That's a really good tip. And that's something you could also do, is work with this. And between all this, you would have every facet you need. You've got your video course, you've got your PowerPoint as a PDF, and then you've got your checklist like David mentioned. So people are going to get, they're going to get the knowledge they need in many different formats. I also will export videos into an audio format as well, because some people like to listen to the recordings in their vehicles. So if you give them an MP3, they can put it onto their phone or whatever and sync it up to their car by Bluetooth, and they could listen to it that way. So you're giving people all the different ways to digest their content with just creating that material one time. That's a great tip. Bonus, is, again, I just cover that. You now have an audio file pre-made to include with your next book. Writing your book is attack it one bullet point at a time. That's the key. So as you go through your outline, just go through it one bullet point at a time. Don't stress out and say, oh, I've got to write this whole book. Just take it, one step at a time, and don't try to do it all at once. You can edit your ebook next using built-in editing and spell check tools. Have a close family member, friend review it if possible. I would definitely do that, especially for spelling errors. My mom's always contacted me saying, Paul, you had a misspelling in your email. So she's good about that kind of stuff. So she's really good at that. Format the book, make sure paragraphs aren't too long. Have bold subheadings within the chapters. You want to make sure people can easily read it and find the content, because otherwise they may be turned off by it, or they just may not go through it. You want to increase the likelihood of them going through your material, because then they're going to want to come back for more. They're going to want more of you and from you. So have a clear stop and end points for your chapters, and then create an index for that ebook if you can, just to make it super easy for people to reference things that they may have lost, or to find the table of contents. Make sure your pictures are in the right place after you've exported to the PDF. These are just kind of touch-up things, but they're really important, because if you don't do them right, people aren't going to want to buy from you again, because they may have had a bad experience. Your video course, again, videos have a lot of value to them. Several types of videos. The PowerPoint style, step-by-step, live demonstrations. For the PowerPoint style video, use PowerPoint if it's installed. Use OpenOffice Impress. So again, openoffice.org is where you can get that. It's a free version of PowerPoint. Bullet points, just like you're seeing me do right now, that's exactly how you could make your info product. So structure your training similar to ebook product outlines, and you don't need long sentences, although I do sometimes because there's a lot to cover. But short bullet points, they work very well here. Couple things for recording it. You could use Google Hangouts, like I mentioned. You could use Cam Studio. You could use Jing. You could use Screencast-O-Matic. Those are all free versions. And then I use Camtasia. That's my preference. Camtasia is kind of like the Rolls Royce of all of them. Those other ones are kind of like a Honda Accord. It gets you from A to Z, but Camtasia will get you there in style, and it's well worth it, I think. If you don't have a headset, obviously, you could use your built-in microphone or use a Logitech USB for the best results. So here's how you do the instructional videos. You can show people how to do things online or on your screen. So it could be how to use certain software. So like Photoshop or GIMP, which is kind of like a free version of Photoshop. So if there's a software you're really good at, like Excel, Microsoft Office products, even the Open Office products, open source software solutions that you use, QuickBooks tutorials, all those kind of things are over-the-shoulder type trainings you can do. Teaching people how to set up a blog, how to set up a landing page, how to do those types of tasks do really, really well. Tutorials on finance, tutorials on internet business topics. Live demonstrations, those are the videos that I've done, like with the baseball product, with the fitness people, where they actually demonstrate their exercises for me. You could teach in front of a whiteboard with the camera on you. So you could set up a camera, with a whiteboard just on the wall, and that could actually be your product. Shoot your video in a well-lit day. With a good window for the best lighting. That's going to always be your best bet. Lighting is super important, so people can see what you're doing. And then again, filming live demonstrations for exercise routines, setting up the perfect model train system if that's what you're into, sports skills, cooking demonstrations. And I personally find that live demonstration products are some of the easier ones to create because they actually can be done in an afternoon very simply because it's all done on video, and then you just have to go back and crop it. If you do a good enough job, though, you may not even need to do much editing. And so to me, that's pretty powerful. So definitely live demonstrations, and they're much easier than you think. So if you know somebody that's good at a certain topic, you can use your phone camera. You can use most digital cameras out there now have a really good video on it, or you could rent one from like lensrentals.com and do a really good one. So audio course, I'm going to buzz through this, but tools needed for this would be a USB headset or your built-in microphone. I would recommend a USB headset. You can use Audacity for the software for recording your audio. And obviously, always start with notes or your outline so you know what you're talking about. And a good length for some audio courses that I've seen is about 1 to 2 hours of content. Short reports, and again, I'm kind of breezing through some of this because we have some really important things to cover here. But again, you could do a series of 7 to 15 page reports, much like the ebook. Same thing applies for that as far as how to create them, go through your bullet points and those types of things. A live webinar series. This is very similar to what we're doing now. You just create kind of a live training atmosphere. You could use Google Hangouts. You could use Webinar Jam, one of those services as well, to get that out there. Coaching services, this does not force you to have a product, but this could be everything from life coaching, investment coaching, fitness or dieting coaching. In fact, with my partnership on the fitness sector, we're actually starting a monthly coaching club as well, where they're going to be including different information for us. So they're going to be including in the coaching club. So we have a front end product, which is exercise routines and also the nutrition plan, but then they're going to get monthly nutrition coaching along with Q&A once or twice a month. And so that's an upsell we're able to offer. And so consider that in your partnerships. Coaching is really big. We do that with our Real Coaching Club as well. We charge $97 a month, and the residual income is fantastic. And that's where you're really going to see continual growth when you can have some sort of a coaching type program. So always consider that, because you can easily make online coaching very simple using Google Hangouts easily, and just make it like private links that you send to people that register. But that's a great way for you to go out there and really get good, a good upsell for what you have going on. All right. So expert interviews, David's going to teach you guys more about that next week. So, but expert interviews is a really good way to go. And again, we're kind of buzzing through here because there's a ton of material yet to cover. So I'm all about creating your perfect product package. So to maximize your price and overall sales, consider adding in more value to your offers. So here's an example of a way to create multiple formats of the same material. Create a video from a PowerPoint, turn the PowerPoint into a PDF by saving it in PDF format, turn the audio from the video into an MP3 file, and then you could consider adding in like a short report or something like that as a bonus. Or like David mentioned, you could actually take the PowerPoint and make it a checklist, and there's your short report bonus. You could use PLR content as long as it's really good. I personally use PLR. I also sell products with Rights because, I think there's a lot of value in them, and you can actually create great products that way if you have good enough material. Offer a live Q&A session. We do this on a lot of our products on Clickbank, and it really helps us add in a bonus, and it allows us to have that relationship with people. And after our launch, we just actually upload that as just a bonus, so they can say, hey, as a bonus, you're going to get a live Q&A set, or get a Q&A session. It won't be live, but it'll be the recording of it. And so that's all you have to do is tweak that on your page. But that's just another way to add value to your product. And I do this for all my Clickbank products, and I add in a Q&A type session. And so what that does for me, though, is that really builds value to my customers and adds in a nice bonus. So is this good stuff? Are you guys getting a lot out of it?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of yeses already in here about this earlier. And, you're just crushing it here, Paul.
Awesome.
This is a lot more than people were expecting, I'm sure, from just creating a product.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's very, to try and give them as much details as possible. So,
okay, so look at the poll. The poll was 46% have yes, they have a product of their own,
wow,
a digital product, and 29% no.
Okay.
And in progress, 25%. So there you go. We got a good crowd. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great crowd. Well, this creating your product package will probably help you guys maybe add more value to your current products for those that have one. So, and it's all about being creative too. And I find the Q&A sessions really make us creative, and it really helps. Step number 3, and I kind of covered that because you can actually include your coaching services as an upsell, but never launch an offer without an upsell. You're going to be leaving money on the table. In fact, with all our launches on Clickbank, the ones that I've done and been a part of, we make actually probably a majority of our profit on the upsell. So definitely include that. It should complement the offer people purchase on the front end, and it should never be required to get the upsell for the front end offer to work. That is just a quick way to have a bad customer service, and have people not like you and not want to buy from you again. So your upsell, again, let me reiterate
Explain that again. How does that work?
Yeah. So your upsell, what's that?
You should never be required to get the upsell for the front end offer to work. Tell what that means.
Exactly. So that means if somebody buys my product and I'm selling them on one of my trainings, so like we have a product out called, let's say the no cost income stream. It teaches people 5 ways to make money online. And we have an upsell for additional training, but it should never be required. Basically, people don't need the upsell. It just complements what they just purchased. They don't need the upsell for everything they learned in the front end to work. Because what I see happen sometimes in the past, and it just creates a bad environment for people, is they get sold a product, but then they find out like it's missing a lot of the details. And so they're saying, hey, if you really want what you just purchased to work, you must have this, you must buy this product. And so the best way in order to just keep your customers happy and have a good experience is your upsell, I feel, should always complement what they bought, but it shouldn't be required. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That's good.
Yeah, and it's just a good way to keep your customers happy. So the upsell is often 2 to 3 times the price of your front end offer. At least that's what we're doing. And it should be showed after the initial purchase. Or Clickbank actually has a one-click upsell feature called Pitch Plus. I personally don't use that feature myself, and I'll explain how we do our stuff, mainly because we're more old school. But I know a lot of people that do use it, and it basically sets it up so people aren't having to re-enter all their credit card materials again. And so that service actually is available now called Pitch Plus. So ideas for your upsell, those would include things like templates, more advanced training, the coaching, maybe live webinar trainings. Those types of things would go in as well. Once you get all your product done. Now, of course, I can't go in and show you my FileZilla account right now and go through that process because we don't have that kind of time today. But upload your course materials to Amazon S3. That's going to offer your best customer experience, and it's going to be it's lower cost than you think. We've actually done some very large launches, obviously, on Clickbank. And through those, with tons of customers downloading our materials, we've never spent this huge, grandiose amount of money that some people would think they have to if they're going to use Amazon S3. It's always been very minuscule. But what it does is it keeps the Amazon S3 really just keeps the load off your regular servers, your regular web hosting, and that kind of thing. And even if you have dedicated hosting, we still recommend that, because if you have a lot of people hitting your offer at once or hitting your download pages at once, it can really slow things down. And when I was first starting out, I didn't think I needed this, and I would get just one complaint after another that the downloads were taking forever for people. And then I would try them, and sure enough, that was the case. They would take forever because everybody was trying to download them, and I had shared hosting at the time. And so I've always just made it a good practice to use something like Amazon S3, because it does work. It does make it a lot quicker for people. It's widely used and respected, and there's a really cool tool called Bucket Explorer that Eric Holman actually is the one that my business partner that told me about this one, and it's a great tool, and I absolutely love it, and it enables me to easily upload products to Amazon S3 without needing a science degree or anything. It's super easy to use. So you can also upload to your current hosting company after all that said. And you could use FileZilla, which is FTP. It stands for File Transfer Protocol. I don't feel you should ever pay for an FTP program, because FileZilla is out there and it's perfectly capable of helping you upload your course material. Let me explain a little bit about what I mean by uploading your course material, and then we'll move on. But when you're looking at FileZilla, so on the left-hand side of the screen is the products that are on your computer. So that could be everything from your sales letter, which we're going to talk about writing your copy here in just a moment. That would be everything from your sales material to your info products. So your MP3, your MP4 videos, your ebook, whatever, your PDFs, those kind of things would be on your hard drive. You want to get them from your hard drive up onto your server. And so your hosting company. And so that's how you're going to do that, is using FileZilla. That's why you need it. That's why you can use it as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, because actually 50% of you already have a product out there. So we're going to go on to some more important materials. Creating your download and thank you page, believe it or not, we keep it simple, and it works. So, so when you look at these pages, you're going to laugh, because we keep it simple. So we create a download page to deliver, all your products to, because people need a way to download and access your products. You need a thank you page to gather your customer email, and these are exact replicas of what we use. So when I say we keep it simple, I mean it. You can keep your download page behind a membership plugin like a member or wish list or something of that nature. They actually integrate really well with Clickbank. They actually play really nice together. So that is completely up to you if you want to do that. But this is what our thank you page looks like. So after the customer purchases from us, they are taken to a thank you page, which looks like that. Congratulations, thank you for your purchase. Your billing statement will show a charge from Clickbank, and then we do the, just exactly how it's going to look on their credit card statement, because that's what Clickbank wants from you. So that way people can recognize their purchase. And you'll notice I also do it on our download page as well. But you can see there we've got access to our support desk link and then our download area. So we don't worry about having fancy download pages or thank you pages. We keep it very simple. We use some of the older school templates. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being fancy. I'm just saying that we personally keep it fancy, or we keep it simple, because it works, and it works well. And so why reinvent the wheel as well? So your thank you page and your download page. Your thank you page is really important, because you want to make sure you're getting your customers' emails. Your customer list is going to be where most of your money comes from. They're the people that are the proven buyers. They're the most motivated people. They're the ones that are going to want more of you and more from you later on. And also, most importantly, it's easy to support them, because if you need to maybe change your download link, maybe you've added a bonus, maybe one of the bonus links, or maybe the download link wasn't working, maybe something became outdated and you need to update your customers, you need that customer list. Otherwise, you can't really do that.
Okay, so I have to interrupt you here for a second, because the big thing that people complain about with Clickbank is, or used to complain about with Clickbank, is that they weren't able to get the emails the way they wanted to. Now, has Clickbank changed that to make that so much easier?
As far as like capturing customer emails?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've made it a little bit easier. We still personally use Aweber though. We use Aweber as part of ours. So the thank you page they go to is an Aweber opt-in form.
Yeah,
so
but
that's
you've actually incorporated that opt-in right into your flow It wasn't
Exactly.
always that easy to do, but now you can really do that easily.
Now you can do that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it straight in. So you can actually set what your thank you page is from the back end of Clickbank. And so you set your thank you page to your opt-in page. That's how we do it.
Okay,
And
good.
so
Good.
we call it a
And this is
registration
really
page.
important for list building because it's buyers, right?
Exactly. It's the buyers, and the buyers are going to make the lion's share of your sales moving forward. They're the most motivated people, in my opinion, and so they're the ones that are going to they're the ones you want to take care of the most too.
Okay.
And so that's essential. Yep. Very good question. And then, so here's a little bit about copywriting. With Clickbank, they call your sales page your pitch page. This is how you sell your product. And so, I gave you guys your, your download and thank you page. And this may seem like kind of a weird process because I went from having your product created to getting your download and thank you page up. But there's actually a method to my madness here, because without having your product all the way done, it's very difficult to create your sales copy because you don't know what you're covering. So you need to create your product first. Then you need to have your download page, because then it's organized. It's easy for you to see everything there. And then, obviously your thank you page it's good to have that set up as well.
The other thing I liked what I saw there, Paul, was how simple your download page was, because
yes,
people can get really crazy about, trying to do too much.
Definitely. And here's one little tip that I'll give people as well. You'll notice, and some people might say this is crazy, but if we have like let's say a 20 video course, a 20 module course or whatever, we will individually make them download each video. And then sometimes we'll offer them every download at once. But the reason we do this is because we actually noticed it lowers our refund rates, because people feel like they're getting more value, because they're having to because they go to their download area and they see, whoa, there's 20 videos there, instead of it just being one download to where they think, oh man, I just got one thing. It actually is a tip that's actually worked well for us, because it also makes people, systematically just download, and then it's on their hard drive, much easier for them to go through as well that way. You could do that, or you could just bundle them all up. We've actually done it where we actually give people the option where we actually individually have them, because it does make their download page look much larger. And then we also will just do all the videos compressed into one large download. So we kind of give them both options. But it seems to work well as far as making people think. It's just more psychological at that point, but they're like, wow, there's a lot of content here. So that's kind of a tip for people to integrate as well. But definitely keep it simple. So your copywriting and sales video, your sales page or pitch page is how you sell your product. So Clickbank calls it a pitch page. They've been calling it that way for years. They haven't quite changed it, but we call it a sales page. This can include, again, your sales copy or a sales video or both, which I call a hybrid page, which would have a video at the top and then sales copy at the bottom. So this is how you persuade visitors to buy your product. So this is just going to be exactly how you persuade visitors to invest in what you have to offer. Really, anyone can become a good copywriter with practice. I was at a recent Clickbank event, and this guy this one guy, he mastered copywriting and sales videos to the point where all he does is just team up with people that have products and that know how to do all the other stuff, and then he just does the copywriting, and that's it. And then he just goes around and partners with people. So that's another unique way if you become a good copywriter. But he was saying, he spends probably 50% of his day just learning copy and always improving it. Even though he's got a good system down, you can always increase your conversions a little bit. I personally spend more time researching how to make my copy better, because if you can improve your conversions even 0.5%, and you're getting 1,000 or so, sales, or 1,000 or so clicks a month, that actually adds up quick. That's an extra, what is that? 5 to 0.5%. I guess that'd be an extra 5 sales a month maybe, but that adds up quick over the course of a year. Like that might be an extra 5 sales, and say your product is $30. That's an extra 150 a month. Times that by 12, $1,300, because of one little tweak you made on your sales page, and that's always going to be there. So perfecting good copy, it's going to make you go far in this business. And we're going to cover the elements of good conversions and getting sales letters on the next slides here. So I'm going to cover the AIDA basics of all good sales messages that we use in our offers. And once you actually understand this, you can easily partner with anybody, because you can create very simple copy. So AIDA, it's an acronym. So this stands for attention. This is where you must get your market to read your sales letter or message. Your headline should really draw people in. So without a good headline, people generally aren't going to stay around and read what you have to offer. Many of the top copywriters, they spend a lot of their time on that headline because it's so important. And you want to pique their interest with benefits. And that's one thing we do with all of ours. And you want to know you obviously need to know your market. So you need to know who you're selling to. And that's why even with when you're partnering, you're going to understand more. That's why I research. Even though I went into baseball, I researched some of the issues that people are having with hitting a baseball because I wanted to make sure we covered those elements. Because I knew, for example, one of the hardest things to teach a kid is how to have bat speed. Bat speed is how a baseball player goes from being just a good high school player to being a professional baseball player, literally. And it can boil down to just bat speed. So I made sure when I had the product with Matt Fields, the baseball player, I said, how can we, what kind of drills could we do for helping people with bat speed? Now I can incorporate that into my copy. So research is very important, not only for your product as you're creating your product or as you're creating your product outline, but it's really important for your copy as well because you want to know your market to get their attention. The I in the AIDA formula stands for interest. This is where you grab them into your copy with like a compelling story. You let them know why they need your product. How will it improve their life? And then the desire phase. This is where you paint a picture in their mind about how their life will be better. Now, again, this is a very brief overview of copywriting, only because we're limited on time here. But this is just a brief overview. But this is, you want to paint a picture in their mind about how their life will be better. Be very specific here, specific, and I'll give you some examples. So like a very specific part for the desire is, how their life's going to be better with buying your product. You could say, imagine your kid is now going to be the all-star on his team, and imagine that dream of getting that full ride college scholarship to play baseball is finally within grasp. So that kind of creates the desire for the parent. So you've gotten their attention, you've grabbed their interest with a little bit of a story, and then you've created that desire about how their life is going to be better if they purchase this product, because now their kid could conceivably play college ball when before they couldn't if they didn't have this training. Not necessarily, that hardcore, but you could go that direction. The action is to encourage your audience to purchase your offer. Believe it or not, in my coaching club, I've actually seen people have really good sales messages, and then they forgot the call to action. So make sure you always include that. That's where you encourage your audience, give them a reason. So here's a little bit about, as you're writing copy, who are your prospective customers, what issues, what are their desires? Again, this is on a replay, so I'm going to try and buzz through this because we do have a lot more content to cover.
Yeah, so Paul, I'm going to push you because we're about 55 minutes into this already.
Okay, perfect.
So I want to make sure we get to the affiliates and joint venture stuff.
Perfect. Let me jump through that. Okay.
Well, so I don't want you to push too hard. We got time. I just want you to know where we are.
Perfect. No, that's good. And we're getting up on our 9 steps here, so that's good.
Okay.
So I'm going to just bring all this up here so you guys could pause this screen here and, and save this later on in the replay. But why should the prospect have faith in you? Again, be sincere. We call ourselves the real guys with our sales message because we're 3 regular, ordinary guys. That's how we sold that. Again, for the baseball product, it's a different, reason. Obviously, he's an authentic person, but he's a currently playing professional baseball. With the fitness guy, you just look at a picture of him and he's ripped, he's chiseled, he trained some of the best people, he's got good testimonials. That's why people should have faith in that person. So just be sincere, be professional, answer that question. Why should people want to purchase your product? How is your product or service different from the others on the market? And you want to think deeply here as to what makes your product stand out. Who are your prospective customers? Again, what are their desires, their needs, their occupations? Once you know those things, it's very easy for you to create that copy. So this is where you're going to cover what are all the benefits your product or service adds to the customer. And don't confuse this with features here. This is something that a lot of newer people will do at times. Benefits are what they're going to get from using your product. So that could be financial freedom, weight loss, increased bat speed, that kind of thing. The increased bat speed, which leads to, more scholarships, moving up in the game. Features could include things like the number of pages in the book, the length of the video training, those kind of things. Your headline should start with a good benefit, again, to draw people in. We already touched on that. what might your customers' objections be? So you really want to walk in their shoes for a bit. So a parent buying a baseball product, their objection might be, like, well, you're not going to be there live coaching my kid. And you could actually say, well, as part of this product, we're actually showing, step by step how, he's actually coaching a kid live, those kind of things. So you could come up with some ways, obviously do more thinking than I just did there, as far as what objections your customers may have. It could be things like, that's where a guarantee comes into play. Well, what if this doesn't work? Well, you're offering them the guarantee. Why should your prospect act now? Give them a reason to buy now. So special price, value-added bonus. They can't afford to keep suffering from their problem. They need to act fast. They can't afford the surgery, so they need to buy this tonsil stone course so they don't have to have their tonsils removed. Those kind of things. Always use a reader-friendly font. Arial, Verdana, Courier, you can see some examples there. Black font on a white colored background works best, or it's kind of like what I'm doing here. That is going to be your best bet. And highlight your hot buttons. So hot buttons are the phrases that really drive home a point to your audience. Make sure those are bold or italic. Make your headline pop and grab people's attention. That's really key. Create a reader-friendly paragraph. So I mentioned that in your ebooks as well, but you want to try and restrict them between 4 and 6 lines each, and try and stay clear of those long paragraphs, because people, when they're reading copy, they like to skim through them. They don't want to be caught up in very large paragraphs that are going to take them a long time to go through. So as you're reviewing your copy, I know about 50% of you said you had a product. These tips are really going to help you. So if you go back through your sales copy and you say, this is where I could improve mine, then that's super important. And if you're doing a sales video, a lot of these principles are going to apply the same, because you need to know your market. You need to know who they are, who your prospects are, those types of things. Draw attention with things like subheadlines, bullet points, numbers, creating that hope, creating a sense of urgency, and then being the authority. So drive home that you are there to help them, drive home why you're there to help them, as far as how you can do that, and then create that sense of urgency as well for why they need to take action. So
folks, this is a copywriting, this is a copywriting masterclass here. Go back through this really slowly and look at all these benefits, because he's giving you the formula for writing great copy.
Yep. Thank you. This is, and we're just kind of pressed on time, and that's why we're having to buzz through this. But a couple quick things, and that's why I'm pulling up all these slides so you guys can just pause these and then do a screen capture of these as you're going through your video, because I want to make sure you guys get this content. But study effective sales copy, research some of the best ones out there, proofread, because poor grammar or bad spelling, it's going to crush your credibility. Be unique. Have a unique selling proposition, or USP as it's referred to. So what distinguishes you from the crowd? Think of creative ways to differentiate yourself, like we did the Real Guys. In all my partnerships, I think of a creative way to make us stand out and be unique. Test your copy. You can get traffic going through paid ads or through your own list. And then make sure you're offering a guarantee of some sort, especially with Clickbank, because they automatically have a 60-day guarantee built in. And now they're actually changing it to where you can actually have a 30-day guarantee. So Clickbank has been experimenting with that as well. So no longer are they going to be forcing you to have a 60-day guarantee. So those are some good tips. And make sure you screenshot this, because there's some really good material here on how to write good copy. And I'm going to buzz through these. This is an example of a product we had out there, that was selling. So you're about to learn the exact blueprint. You can see the headline, then it goes on into the story of it. It introduces the product, so where we talk about our modules and what's included there. You can see I included, even though it was my product, I actually just included why this is the #1 thing people can do online, for their business, just to kind of make it stand out a little more. So you can see, who should get this product, why they should get it. Sounds like it, but this sounds like an expensive course. So notice I hit them with the, with the objection that they're already thinking like, wow, there's so much content here. This is going to be an expensive course. And then lo and behold, no, it's not. I'm slashing the regular price of $97, and I give them a reason why, and it's only going to be $37. I summarize the offer. We're also going to include, our call to action. I like these boxes. Yes, Jeff and Paul, I want to secure my copy as simple as building blueprint. And, so I include all that stuff in there. So that is how you write good, effective copy in a nutshell.
We have a question here, Paul. Who are some of your favorite copywriters?
Gary Halbert is one of the best. John Charlton is really good. And these are guys that I'm learning from. I actually go back some of the older like newspaper type ads that used to run. I actually will review some of those from time to time. Love those ones. There's some good ones. Joe Sugarman actually has some really good old ones, like his sunglasses one and those types of things. Those are timeless. Copywriting is one of those things that's pretty timeless, that it works. If it worked, back in the day, it more than likely will work today, because people are the same in that regard. So, yeah. So those are some good ones.
Okay.
An example sales funnel for my Clickbank offer. So you can see here, this is our sales page here. This is an example of that using Optimized Press. So they purchased the product. This is our example. This works for any Clickbank product. It could be in any niche market. So imagine this being my baseball product or fitness product or golf product, whatever product I'm doing, it's going to follow the same format here. You're going to have your sales page, which is going to lead them to the Clickbank checkout box, which is Clickbank. The one thing about Clickbank that I love, they have changed this box, this checkout box, over the years. And the reason is because they're split testing to improve your conversions. And that's one awesome thing about Clickbank, is they have got this dialed into a point where it's converting at its optimal level. And they've had this thing all over the place before, and they've discovered the different colors of the buttons. So they're doing a lot of that stuff for you to increase your conversions. They also make these mobile friendly, so they look good on mobile devices, and it works well. So sales page to the Clickbank checkout system. Again, my disclaimer here, I keep things simple. From there, they go to the thank you page that I showed you guys. So this is the thank you page. After they opt into the thank you page for the front end offer, I take them right on over to a thank you, which is just a thank you message. So thank you, congratulations on your purchase. That could be a video, or that could be, my upsell offer. So what that is there is I take them, so they purchase the product. So let's go back here one more time. Sales page, they purchase the product on Clickbank. They're taken to a thank you page. From the thank you page, they're taken to the one-time offer or special offer. That's where I congratulate them. I thank them for their investment. And then I tell them about, either by video or by written copy, about what else I have to offer them. And then if they say yes to that offer, then they're taken to the checkout and then onto the download page. Or if you had a second upsell, maybe for coaching, we've actually had 2 or 3 upsells at times where they'll get, the front end product, then they'll get an upsell, and then they will also get taken to like our coaching, membership offer as well. But everything is funneled the same way. And so they're put onto a separate list if they buy the upsell. If they say no to that offer, there's always a no thank you link at the bottom here, which takes them straight to the download area. So I keep it very simple. We don't use very fancy pages, but we use what works and what works effectively. So I don't want anybody out there saying, but I need to have a graphic designer background, or I need to hire a graphic designer before I can do this, because you absolutely do not. So submit your product to Clickbank is step number 7. So this is after you've got your product done. You have to have your sales message done. You have to have your product uploaded. You have to, have your copy dialed in, have your thank you page and download page there. You're going to log into Clickbank. So go to clickbank.com. You'll get logged in after you've set up your account. It's pretty straightforward as far as setting up your account, so we don't have time to go into that. But once you've set up your account, you'll go inside there. You're going to click on settings, and you're going to click on my products. So settings and my products, and then you'll click on add new product. And this is what the page looks like when you submit a product. So I'll buzz through this here. You've got your, it's going to be an active product, of course. You'll choose if it's an audio, ebook, membership. Notice that they've just recently added that. A lot of people used to think, oh, Clickbank's no good because they don't do memberships. They do. So make sure you check. If yours is all of them, that's great. If it's obviously not a game or a software, but it could be, you could have an ebook and a video and an audio component. So you could actually check all those boxes. Is this a shippable product? Select yes or no if it is. That is one thing. Clickbank is starting to do more with physical products, which gives you more options as well. So you could actually ship flat media with them, and they're actually expanding into other things as well down the road. But CD, DVDs, you could do a physical version of a book. That's one way to stand out. In fact, we're actually going to do an upcoming launch. It's going to be a relaunch of one of our products, but we're using the positioning as for the relaunch as the product's going to be slightly updated as well because it's been about a year and a half. But the other major positioning point is going to be they're going to, instead of having to download it, they're going to have a DVD shipped to them. And so most shipment and fulfillment houses will ship overseas and all over the place. And so you can partner up with one of, like Speaker Fulfillment or, Kunaki, a service like that, and they'll ship your product out for you. And there's several of these companies out there as well. So you can go out there and if you want to offer that, but that's one thing we're doing moving forward with one of our launches, just to kind of stand out from the crowd, because a lot of people in the info product space are just digital downloads. Well, lo and behold, we're differentiating ourselves a little bit and saying, hey, here's a DVD of this product. Whereas most people are going, oh, I'm just used to downloading this. That instantly makes us stand out. And we're also going to give them the download links as well, but we're going to have it shipped to them on a DVD so they can have access. So you put in your item number. This really isn't all that important. When it's your first product, just put number 1. But then after that, the numbering is not that important. So that's really more up to you. Product title, make sure you put in a good product title. What product language you're in. Remember, I talked about in the last session how translating your product is a good way to go. So you could have your product in different currencies and different languages. Product price, choose your default commission. Usually it's 50%. That tends to be what we use. It works well. For other niche markets like fitness, we're going to probably have to go up to 75% because that seems to be the norm in that space. But at that point, at 75%, it's really a volume play because those niches are so large. And you're also, again, building that buyer's list. That's why it's so important to have a thank you page there, because you're building that buyer's page. You'll notice here again, a pitch page. Your pitch page is your sales page with Clickbank. So they still call it a pitch page, but it is a sales page. And so you'll put in your sales page link here. If you have a mobile sales page, you can do that there. They will actually redirect it, but only put it there if you have a mobile page. I use something like Optimize Press to create some of my more recent pages because they're automatically mobile optimized. So I don't have to put that as a separate link here. It's just only if you offered that as an option. You could put it there. Your thank you page and your mobile thank you page. Again, I only usually use the pitch page here and the thank you page here. Thank you page link is the link that I was showing you, or the page I was showing you where you get their name and their email address, which was right here, right there. That's the thank you page link that you would put in there. So next, after you submit your product to Clickbank, it'll go through an approval process, and then you'll notice here that it's approved, and then notice I've got an upsell for this product, and so I call it like 97 or 67, whatever the price is of my upsell. It used to be 97, but I dropped the price a bit. We took away some of the bonuses and just kind of played around a bit, but we dropped the price to 67. But for my item number, my upsells, I usually do whatever I'm pricing it as, and then you can log back in here. And another thing, you would do the same setup for your upsell products. If you want to get into detail, you would go to the Pitch Plus upsell flows, but that's for a whole nother training material. But I usually just keep it simple. I do everything under standard products, unless I have a recurring membership, then that would be set up in here. But once your product's approved, then you're good to go. You're going to see a green option there.
Are all recurring memberships in Clickbank fixed term, or can they be ongoing?
They can be ongoing.
Okay, good.
Yep. So managing your marketplace listing, this is another important part to your affiliate recruitment process, because back in the day, the Clickbank marketplace used to be a place where people would go and they would just literally shop, in a sense, or window shop, kind of, where they would just go through there and go, oh, that looks interesting, or I'm interested in weight loss, and oh wow, while I'm here, why don't I get this other product on how to train my dog or something. So but more or less nowadays, the marketplace is really for recruiting affiliates. That's really what it boils down to. That's where affiliates go. That's where we recommend people go to find good products in all niche markets to promote. That's where people that are actively looking to promote products end up in the Clickbank marketplace. So you just go into your listing, go to click on settings, and instead of going to my products, you're going to just go right next to it and click on my site. Once you click on my site, you're going to see that your site status is activated, meaning once your product's approved, you're good to go. And you can add, up to 50 products within Clickbank as well. So notice I got my Hop Target link. That's my sales page link. You choose your marketplace category. So make sure you choose that, wisely as well. So it should be related to what you're offering, whether it's in the remedy
How
space.
many categories can you use, Bob? Paul?
John, you can use, just kidding.
I'm looking at the people in the list here.
That's awesome. No, you can actually use, as far as categories, just one category. So you want to, but you can subcategorize it. So I'll show you here. There's a drop down where it says your main category, which would be like health or fitness, and then your subcategory could be like remedies, for example. So they give you access to one category, so you can't really do two. So you want to just make sure you have it dialed in on the one you choose. One thing that I do, this is kind of a little tip, a side tip. We'll look for a category like for ours, especially in the e-commerce space. If there's a product that necessarily like ours is about eBay. So it's general e-business, making money online type product. But I narrowed down to e-commerce operations because there's very few vendors in that space. And now all of a sudden I'm the top category seller in that space with very few sales when this product first launched, And so all of a sudden, we're now like the top of the e-commerce operations category. And so Eric actually taught me that tip. We do that with a lot of our stuff. So we would find the underserved niches and then we'd become the top seller in that particular subcategory. And you're also listed in the main category too. So people will find you. So as your product rises up in that category, you rise up in the e-business category. So that means when people come to the Clickbank marketplace and they look for a good e-business product or they look for a good, sports product, they would see like the baseball product up there. They're going to see the acid reflux product, whatever niche market you're going after.
So we had a question from somebody about the categories, and he was giving the example of self-improvement and weight loss. And if weight loss is a subcategory of self-improvement, he could absolutely do both.
Yeah, I know for Clickbank, I don't believe it is a subcategory.
Okay.
But if you go to the Clickbank marketplace, you could actually drill down and we could see. You could actually see what it is actually. So you can go to Clickbank Marketplace and you can see how Clickbank categorizes their materials, and then you could kind of tie them together that way. But yep, it's only one category right now.
Okay.
And then one thing I do in my description is instead of selling your product, I really sell the reason why they should promote my product. So like whether we have a promotion going on for our affiliates, or like, for example, I'll give our title of the product because ours pretty well covers what it is. It's about eBay income. This again was with a partnership because I'm not an eBay expert, but I partnered with somebody that was that's a seller, a power seller on eBay, and has been one for years. So, this is where teach your customers how to effectively sell on eBay, updated for 2015, the most updated eBay training on the market, discover how to source products like a seasoned pro, promote now, and then I put in my link. And you want to put in your entire link so that when people copy and paste it, it will open up in a new browser. Now, here's kind of a funny thing. I've talked about all the things Clickbank's done that's innovative and creative. For whatever reason, and we talked about this, we were actually in their headquarters and they were asking what they could do to help us and improve things. They're very interested in that because they want to help you. That link, this link right here is not clickable for whatever reason. And so, and they automatically make that capitalized. There's nothing you can do there. They capitalize the first word of everything you put in. So there's nothing you can do about that. They're eventually going to change that, I guess, in the near future. But you would just copy your affiliates are going to copy and paste this link. People are so used to that now within Clickbank. It's just more normal. It's more natural. So don't stress about that when you see it show up like this. If people copy and paste that, it's still going to work. It's going to go right to where they need to go. So that's just a little quirk that Clickbank is working out. It's been that way ever since they started. But now they're slowly realizing that the marketplace is used more for affiliate recruitment. So they are going to be fixing that soon.
Okay, another question about categories. Would it be a mistake to update or change a category if it's not performing as well as you want to? And can you do that even?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can always come back in here and change it. The one thing though, if you change your category or subcategory, as it says right up there, it can take up to 3 to 5 business days. So that means your product would be pulled down off the marketplace for 3 to 5 days. So you would really want to make sure you're you want to try. We've never attempted to change ours once we're live, because it would be crazy to lose 3 to 5 days of sales, so it should be very much underperforming for you to decide you want to change it. So try and get it down the first time if you can, because it will reactivate a new approval process, which could take up to a week. So
Okay.
Yep. And that's the other benefit, though, is once you start selling on Clickbank, you will have access. Once you start making good volume, you're going to have a better relationship with them and their account reps. And that's when, for us, we don't have that time. I can send them a text message and I could be live within 30 minutes after we do it. We don't have to wait 3 to 5 days. So that's the power of, how they have, give you access to those kind of people once you get to that point. And I'm very confident you're going to get to that point. So setting up your JV pages is step number 9, and then we'll talk about JV recruitment. Are we doing okay on time?
We're way over, but it's fine. Keep going.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So we'll, oh my goodness. Okay. So step 9, setting up your JV page. This is basically, it's a simple little sales page. Again, I keep it simple. If you're not one of the top vendors, maybe, obviously you're going to be starting out. So you can create your own, your reason why they should promote your product, so promote one of the top, horse training products from a leading expert or from someone with 15 years experience in horse training or whatever it is. Just be very creative with how you do that. So you introduce yourself. Obviously, this is our Real Guys page that we use for some of our stuff. Introduce your product. You talk a little bit about your product, and then always capture your JV partner's email. So I set up a separate Aweber form. I do their first name, last name, email address, and I get their Clickbank ID as an optional field, so they don't have to submit that. But I always try and get their Clickbank ID, because you want to be able to, if you find somebody that's making a lot of sales, sometimes there's Clickbank, the way Clickbank works, you'll get affiliates at random, at times. And so there could be somebody that's doing really well for you, but you don't have access to their best email. So you need to hunt them down, or if you can't hunt them down, because sometimes you might say, hey, I'll do a special custom page just for your audience, or do something special for them because they're doing so much volume for you. So I always try and get their, capture their email. That way, when you have upcoming launches too, you can notify them. So always capture your joint venture's email address. Setting up your swipe, your JV page, your email swipes is super important. So I always have 1 to 2 email swipes, and the email swipe is basically just an email that they can copy and paste and send out. So notice I make it very simple, http:// your Clickbank ID here, your Clickbank account name would go here, .hop.clickbank.net. So that way they know that they just put in their Clickbank ID, and it automatically redirects people to the proper channel. So having email swipes is super important for your affiliates, because it makes their job easy. So since this is the meat and potatoes here, top 12 tips to recruit JV partners. And David, if you need to cut me off, just pull the cane out.
If I cut you off, I'm going to get hammered, because people have just typed all through this thing. Keep going. So keep going.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. So product launch announcement sites. So if you are in the internet marketing space, there are some product launch announcement sites. There's a few out there if you really hunt for the niche product launch sites, but that actually could be something for me in the future, is do a product launch site for niche products, because there really isn't one out there. So internet marketing, muncheye.com, JV Notify Pro. It's probably the best and longest running JV site. One thing about JV Notify Pro is they do work with other niche markets, so self-improvement. I've seen some sports products, some fitness products. They're pretty well known. Mike Mers is a great guy, so he's actually got a good thing going there. So you could work on getting a listing there. It's well worth the investment to pay to get kind of the upgraded listing. Google search product launch calendar for more. One way to leverage your product launch announcement sites is to use the main product launch announcement to make a list of joint venture partners in your space. So I will go on Muncheye, I'll go on JV Notify Pro, and I'll find other guys that are doing well in my in internet marketing, or the niche that I'm going after, like on JV Notify Pro, they've got other niche products as well. But I'll go out there and make a list of these guys and say, oh, I need to contact him and see how we can work something out, see how we can make something happen. So see who's doing a product launch and connect with them via email, Facebook, or Skype. And mainly you want to find out what launches they have, because you want to try and serve them first. If you can help them on their launch, they're going to become attached to you. And you don't have to have that huge list. If people see that you're making a good effort, it's going to open up that lines of communication. So you don't have to have this huge email list. But if you're sending several emails for them, instead of just, one guy sending one email because he can get 1,000 clicks in one email, and maybe you send them 300 clicks, but you see like just this person that just keeps promoting throughout their launch, it's going to get on their radar. They're going to start noticing that stuff. They're going to want to work with you.
That's so true. That's how I got started. I had no idea how to connect with Kevin Riley, but I sold a lot of his material in the beginning, and I have gotten some notice from people around the world who reached out to me after they saw that I kept selling their material over and over. So it's really a great thing. Yeah.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's the way to go. I'm all about just serving people. I call it the rabid chihuahua approach. You just go for that person, and work really hard to get on their radar. And David's perfect example. It worked for him. It's worked extremely well, also for me. And it's something that I encourage people to do. The worst thing you can do is say, hey, I see you have a product launch. Why don't you promote my product? It's one of the one of the worst things you can do is to do that. So see how you can help them and add value to their business first. And then in exchange, eventually things will pick up.
So somebody says, Mathis says here, is creating a product launch step-by-step covered in your course?
It is very much,
Okay.
in detail. Yeah, in way more detail. So offer them a spot on your download page, introduce them to your connections. So that would be a unique way to reach out to somebody. Say, hey, I've got my product out there that's live right now. I would like to offer you a position on my download page where you could give something for free type thing and help build your list. So you're sharing leads with that person. Introduce them to other connections. This is one effective strategy. So say you've met a couple marketers that have a good sized list and say, hey, I want to just make this connection happen for you. That will get their attention. Send them a small gift. I mean, Eric Holman told me one of their better launches they did, it cost them a little bit of money, but they sent out little MP3 recorders or something like that. And that was back when those were popular, and they got really good, really good feedback from that, to where people were like, it got their attention, they're like, oh, I'll promote this product. He sent me this MP3 recorder. He sent me a whatever, whatever it is you can think of, a free hat or a free water bottle, whatever it is, it's going to get their attention. Join launch updates so you kind of know what's going on in your space. Set up a Facebook group for your affiliates. That's a good way to recruit them. And that's where you can include links to your JV page, to maybe other updates on your product launch, and also provide resources to make them better affiliates. And so you could do that through Facebook. You could do that through your own page. That's a really good strategy, as well as, if you can add value to your affiliates, they're going to want to keep promoting. I actually subscribe to Mike Greery's list. Mike Greery is one of the most popular Clickbank sellers out there. He's got Truth About Six-Pack Abs and that product that many have heard of. And he provides some great information for affiliate marketing in there. He copywriting, email copywriting, all these kinds of great tips. And so I love subscribing to his newsletter for that reason, and his affiliate newsletter, I should say. Leverage Facebook messaging. Absolutely love Facebook Messenger. Most top influencers and your affiliates, they're on Facebook. Friend requests, interact with them, send a message. Again, it's all about seeing how you can help them first. Join Facebook groups related to joint ventures. There's a lot of these groups on Facebook. There's a pile of them. Find internet marketing or groups related to your niche, with influencers. And the reason I say internet marketing niches is because the internet marketing groups is because a lot of them have people that they're in internet marketing, kind of like guys like Mike Greery, or guys that they're in these big internet marketing groups because they're getting marketing advice and information, but they happen to be in the stock trading niche, or they happen to be in the real estate niche, or they happen to be in these other niche markets, but they're active marketers with large lists. So join these groups and see how your niche products could work together with them. Subscribe to emails of the big players in your niche market, see what types of offers they promote, understand their business, and then use this insight to approach them intelligently. Keyword there is approach them intelligently. So, because if they're not somebody that's promoted a product even similar to yours, it's not worth reaching out to them. And, unless there's some way you could integrate their product into the back end, it's just, you need to understand their business first for it to make sense. Be a customer of theirs. That's one way to get attention as well. Offer a video testimonial for their product, like an unsolicited video testimonial. I'll tell you what, if somebody went through one of my products and they created an unsolicited video testimonial and they sent it to me, that would get my attention. So that would make me go, I would be like, whoa. And then obviously that would open up a line of communication. So
I did that early on and got my video and my link actually on somebody's sales page because of that. It was a great traffic driver.
That's awesome. That's a really good tip. That is awesome. Yeah, those kind of things work well. Skype, this is where, you can download Skype to your computer, smartphone, or both. I use it on both of my machines. Connect with top affiliates who you're seeing on leaderboards. You could use Twitter or LinkedIn. You can use Google Plus while it still is on life support and hanging around. But friend request to follow these affiliates you've targeted, send a private message to them. Google Plus is still there. You can use it, but it probably won't be for long. Post to these social media sites about your launch. Press release, this is a really good strategy. One that I've done a little bit, but necessarily don't always have time to do that, and I should do more of, is post a press release about your product launch coming up, because that means people are going to look up your product and your name, and they're going to see you everywhere. And there's also a few websites like I Am Newswatch that are out there at times that still take some press releases that you can submit. Do a good article. So one thing that I've done is I've posted a really good article on affiliate marketing strategies, and I posted it on JV Notify Pro. And then at the end of it, I have a little subline that takes people to, so I talk about affiliate marketing, ways people could effectively do promotions, include bonuses, whatever tip I can give them. And then I include a link to my affiliate page. So even if it's your niche affiliate page, you're going to give people some really good strategies. Maybe you know how to get traffic with Bing. So you're going to tell affiliates how to get traffic with Bing, and then lo and behold, you have a baseball product or you have a horse training product that you could send them to. And so that's a really good way to get people's attention because they're going to go, wow, he just gave me some good advice. What can I promote of his? Post a video on YouTube about your upcoming launch. That does really well. Include your JV page link, give information, again, informative content. Like one of my better launches that I did, I actually gave them my strategy for, I'd recently done $50,000 in sales on a recent promotion for somebody. It's one of my better ones. And we did this promotion, and then I talked about, well, how I generated $50,000 in sales. And I went through, it was like a 40-minute video. I went through my entire process, and that did really well because, it got a lot of attention, and people said, they could now actually implement what I taught them on my launch. And so giving people content is really key. It's just like giving your customers value, give your JVs value as well. Look for people within your niche that may not be normally contacted. This is a big tip. That means going out to e-zine articles, YouTube, popular industry websites. Find people that are out there that maybe aren't on all these leaderboards. They're maybe not somebody that's actively on these product launch lists, but there's somebody that's not really contacted all the time. But there's guys on YouTube right now that have 1 million views on an internet marketing type product or internet marketing type training. But there's somebody I've never even recognized, but there's somebody that you could connect with and let them know about your product or see how you could help them, promote something they may have out there because they've got an audience that's built in. So look for those kind of hidden gems out there as well. People with a strong YouTube presence. And I'm saying, especially for these other niche products, find the people on YouTube that are big into baseball. Say, hey, I've got a great baseball product. I noticed that you're getting 50,000 views on your baseball videos, but I notice you're not monetizing that. Would you be interested in just throwing up my link here and you can get 50% of everything you sell? Sometimes they're going to be like, whoa, that's a good idea because they're not making money. They have this video that's sitting there with all this traffic. Look at their resource box on e-zine articles and go to their website if they have it and see how you can reach out to them or reach out to them through YouTube. Paid recruitment options. I do solo ads. JV Notify Pro offers that. Muncheye offers that. I've done banner ads on top of the launch sites, live industry events such as NAMS. I've created several joint ventures just from me being at NAMS. That includes what I'm doing here with David. That includes several other great joint venture partners and people that just because I was at a live event just recently. So live industry events are huge, and trade shows are huge for recruiting people. Clickbank.com has advertising, so you can actually advertise on Clickbank to recruit new affiliates. Do targeted Facebook campaigns. I put while you still can, because some people can, some people can't, as far as ads for their affiliate recruitment. It's funny, Facebook is kind of hit or miss on that. Test your Facebook ads. Your photos make all the difference. So like if you looked at this, we put up 4 of these for one of our launches that we did. And lo and behold, this one was pulling like 5 times better than all the others. So what I always tell people to do when you do a Facebook ad is, and this goes for anything, use the same exact ad copy all throughout. So new JV, the headline, everything is the same, and just test your pictures. It's amazing how some pictures will pull better than others. So that's super important little side tip when you're using Facebook to recruit people. So those are my Facebook recruitment tips. And now it's just time for you guys to get out there and take some action. So let's, one thing I would encourage you to do is outline your offer. Make a list of people with knowledge that you could sell, that you could partner with, that you could help them sell an information product and that you could partner with. So make a list of 1 or 2 people. Think of 5 people in your niche that you could start following and build a relationship with, a potential joint venture partner. If you do these 3 things, outline an offer or find somebody that you could reach out to and say, hey, look, I am understanding how to get a product live. Let's partner on your knowledge, because you've been doing at-home daycare for all this time. You've got knowledge that I could sell to people. So just think of that and you're in great shape. So now that we've done all this training, I know that you would like access to the training and tools that you need to truly implement what I just taught you with nothing left out. So as you guys just witnessed, I had to buzz through some things. There's still a lot of question marks probably in some of your heads, because honestly, to make this work, we would need to make this a 12-hour workshop. And we just don't have that kind of time. So, so that's why I've got this very special offer for you guys, to where you can really help. So I've been making money online for 14 years now, and I've been full-time for 9 years. So that's why you can trust the information you find inside my brand new training program. And so I've been making literally money on the internet since I was 15. So I could teach you how to generate consistent, proven income. Plus, I want to give you access to the tools you need to make this dream a reality. That means the software tools. And it's really just time for you to build on what you just learned. So just some brief examples. Last year alone, the Real Guys, we did $833,000 in profit. And so when it says paychecks, that means your profit. So that's after affiliates were paid out. That's our profit. So that means affiliates were already paid. So we did well over $1 million in sales last year in that one account. You can see just some of the other multiple streams of income that have come in. And this is another Clickbank account, another 36,000. That's a full-time income, and that was just a side account, for some people. So you can see from my examples that I know what I'm doing. I have the $1,000 days. I have the email list, numbering 100,000. So I know, what I'm saying. I've got the several thousand referred sales in JVZoo from a newer account. So I know how to generate traffic. I know how to get sales. I know how to make this work. And I want to do this for you guys. So at this point, I believe, I would like to show you guys how I can help accelerate your online income. And I'm going to guess that's a resounding yes, right? So we're going to jump in here.
In fact, they're saying, go on. You can keep talking until midnight if you want.
Fantastic. I will. I'll have the place down the road deliver the teriyaki here. So
just shut the door when you leave.
Yep, exactly. My info product launch system online workshop is the core of my training here. Now I say easily worth $297. It really is worth more like $497. I'm just being modest there. But this is going to be broken up into 6 live training sessions, everything covered in full detailed over-the-shoulder online workshop training. You saw how much content I have to offer you. You saw how long it took, or what it took for me to really show you everything. I actually got this burden in my heart to really do a training like this after I've helped a friend of mine do a launch of his own, and I realized there really is not training out there that takes people from start to finish to getting a product live on Clickbank, in the sense that not even a single step is going to be left out in this training. We're going to go from registering your domain, getting your hosting, pointing your name servers, uploading your product, how I over the shoulder and how I create my sales letters using Composer and Optimize Press. There's going to be nothing left out. In fact, he's one that he's going to help hold me accountable, and said, hey, after this is done, I want to go through this and get my product out there, because I don't want to leave anything, no stone unturned here. And that's why there's little stones there. But this is going to be a step-by-step workshop held live with all recordings available for easy download. It's going to be 6 training sessions, but I've actually been famous for adding 3 or 4 more. So, so as you saw, this was supposed to be just a 1-part training. It ended up being a 2-part training. So you might get more than 6 live sessions. After each session is going to be a Q&A. You're also going to get bonus info products, traffic trainings. All my favorite methods for getting traffic to info products will be covered. Paid traffic, non-paid traffic, affiliate traffic, those kind of things. Clickbank analytics. Understanding your Clickbank analytics is key to your long-term success. So I'm going to actually cover that as well. So this is going to be broken up. Our first session will actually begin Friday, April 24th. So that's a week from today at 3:30 Eastern. If you cannot make it live, do not worry. It is recorded. So just know your first session is already on the calendar, and you guys are going to be able to start in on this training. And we're going to start from the beginning and just work our way down until by the end of the workshop, you're going to have everything you need to get your product live. And you're going to know exactly how you can partner with somebody to create a great Clickbank product launch. WordPress membership plugin. So I'm going to include that with developers' rights, which means you could create membership sites for clients. But the most important feature here is that this is a really good WordPress plugin that does work. I only sell tools that I use and that I trust. And this plugin will actually enable you to secure your offers or your download area. So, and it also integrates with Clickbank. I'll also have another software which helps you create a beautiful high converting sales funnel. It's another point and click software. So it's less knowledge you need. It's going to give you more access to tools, and I'll be teaching you how to use these exact tools as well. So this is another plugin that creates mobile responsive pages, and it helps you, it's got a built-in countdown timer, all the features you need to sell this. And this would actually normally sell for $147 for the developer license. The developer license also gives you the rights, again, to make these for clients. You'll also get a high converting squeeze page WordPress plugin. So you're going to have 3 WordPress plugins that create your sales pages, it'll lock down your members area, and it's going to create your squeeze pages. All these are important components because they go in perfectly with the training I'm going to be giving you, because you need all these things. So I believe in giving you not only the training you need, but the tools you need. I'm also throwing in my web-based e-cover software that I personally use myself. I actually use this tool to create cool looking e-covers, kind of like the ones you see there. An e-cover is important. So now you're going to have a tool to create your e-cover. You're not going to have to outsource anything. Don't you think that's pretty cool, David?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you're loading it up. It's amazing to me what you're giving, especially the sales tools.
It's very, very big. And another thing I'm doing, many of you guys saw this when we first started this training. I had a web-based video graphic software that I'm also going to throw in. I just decided to throw this in. This was not included on the Wednesdays, but those people will also get it. But you saw that I created a little lower third, kind of like I'm on the news or something, and it instantly adds credibility to my videos, right? And
Yeah,
I'm actually going to give
that's a customized lower third is what you're building there?
That software actually builds these for you.
No kidding. I love that.
Dead serious. Yeah, the software makes these for you, and then I'll actually show you how to integrate these right into Camtasia using that software. It's super easy. You just create it into the timeline, and it integrates seamlessly. And so that's how, when I was making my video, you saw little pictures pop up, and then you saw my name there. So lower thirds are really big, because on YouTube, all of a sudden, you're going to stand out from the crowd with this software. So another powerful tool to help you as you're on your way. I'm also going to include, I personally bought this gentleman's business, and it's a WordPress link rotator and tracking plugin. Link rotators are very good. As David already mentioned why he uses them too. He's always using a link rotator or a link redirect. it's a link cloaker as well. So it takes your big long affiliate links and it makes them look super clean. It'll do straight redirects to certain offers, plus it'll rotate links if you want to split test. And it also does some tracking as well. So this is a standalone, another WordPress plugin that builds in. I actually am doing away with my $20 a month Bud URL just because of this software. I've been testing it. In fact, all my emails that I used to promote this, it was paulcounts.com/Clickbank training that I used to promote this. It was actually integrated with my custom referral link, and I was using this software. So I'm using this software. I'm not just saying, oh, this is a tool that might work. I use it and I love it, and I trust it enough to send people to my promotions. Here's a training on making your first 1,000 for those of you that are starting out. And then this to me is one of the biggest bonuses here. In fact, it sells for $97. There's over 700 pages of fill in the blank templates, swipes, checklists, training modules. I spent a lot of money to get the rights in order to offer this to you because I believe in these tools and I use these tools myself. In fact, I recently used the tools that are included. These are templates. So these are 25 product title templates. These are great for copywriting as well. So I actually took some of the tips and I used them on a recent letter, a recent sales letter that I used on JVZoo. We had over 10% conversion, which is crazy high. And I used all these from module 3, which is the copywriting set. I actually wrote most of it in about 4-hour period, which is unheard of for writing copy. But it was because I had access to these tools, I could write my sales copy. So I had my headline templates. I actually used a headline template. I used a post headline template. I opened my letter creatively. In fact, on one of my most recent slides, I admit it, I actually used a bullet point straight from that same resource as well, because they work and they're already templatized. So like all I have to do is just open it up and go boom and just put in my information. And these are proven to work, copywriting things. There's over 700 pages of fill in the blank templates, swipe files, checklists, training manuals, and more. So I can't tell you enough how valuable that is as a bonus. The next thing, how to get traffic, free traffic training. So once you have your info product up, you need traffic. This is everything in a box. Wouldn't you agree, David? They're getting everything they need.
And the templates, I'm just thinking about the templates that you showed, and I know I'm 2 slides behind you.
Yeah.
But, you're offering so much. It's just rolling through my head now. The templates that you showed, the hardest part about any of this is getting started.
Yes.
And when you got a template that is a fill in the blank template, you don't have to use what's there, but it gets you started. And that's the great part about it.
That's exactly right. It gets you started and it gets you in that direction.
That's right.
And you're also going to get a private Facebook group for customers of this offer only. So those that buy this now, in the future, you're going to get access to a group. And just think joint ventures. You guys are all going to be going through the Clickbank training. You guys can bounce ideas off each other, bounce niche ideas. We had people form a joint venture on just a couple days ago when we did the first part of this training. So believe me, this is going to be an active group. I can already tell. So that's going to be key. Joint ventures are key. And private groups like this are even, I'll tell you another huge benefit. Being a part of a group like this means you guys are all going to be working together and you could help each other promote your products. You could help your products all get out there, drive traffic to them if it's in their niche market. There's going to be some fun things happening in there. I'm a part of a few joint venture groups like that are even smaller groups, and the benefit is immense as far as the different promotional benefits. You're going to get PLR license to kind of kickstart you in the internet marketing space, or at least content to help you maybe give to your potential affiliates. You can use this content as you see fit, but I'm giving you a private label rights license to 15 ebooks. I paid over $15,000. Here's the contract. This is no joke. I purchased this guy's business from him. He was a platinum seller on Clickbank with these very same products, and I actually purchased a license from him last year, March of last year. I spent $15,500. You can see the contract. My signature's on that contract at the bottom as well. But I purchased this gentleman's business. So these are in complete books. Like this book right here is 130 pages. This is another product. These are all products you could sell. You could turn around right now and start selling. So 15 licenses is also included.
And they're Word documents, so you can edit.
Exactly. Word documents. Yeah, they're not PDFs. They're Word docs. So you can edit them, update them as you see fit, or add in your own information, those types of things. 57 free traffic methods training. Traffic is super important. I've also got a fast mover mystery bonus. I won't really tell you what it is, but there's a couple of really cool things, including some in-depth copywriting training. So I kind of told you what one of them is. So there's going to be there's going to be a few more than that, though. I'm all about fast mover bonuses. So I actually decided midway through to include my copywriting training. So that's another fast mover mystery bonus. 100% guarantee. I stand behind my products. I say we stand behind our products, but I mean I stand behind my products. My wife and I do. 60-day money-back guarantee. So that's phenomenal. Here's a recap of everything you're getting, including the most recent web-based video graphic software. Total value $1,864, and it's not going to be $997, not going to be $697. $497 is the price that I'm going to be probably pricing this at permanently, but I'm going to take $100 off right now if you take action, and I want to start working with you. But I decided, David said I needed to offer a NAMS only special, and so I said for NAMsters, I'm going to take another $100 off the purchase price if you take action now, and I want to start working with you. Your best value, $297, or we had several people say they wanted a payment plan. We've included 4 easy payments of $89 as another option. So go here now to claim this deal. That's nams.ws/Paul Counts CB. nams.ws/Paul Counts CB. Go to that link. You can choose the best value is the one-time payment of $297, or if you need to spread it over 4 payments, we'll have 4 easy payments for $89. That is a phenomenal deal. If I don't say so myself, there's a lot of value being offered here. nams.ws/Paul Counts CB.
Okay, so you know what? You guys need to go over here and do this. I could ask Paul for this because we're friends, but I have the checkout page up now, and I'm going to purchase this because it's so awesome. And I'm doing it right now because I want everything that's in here.
That's awesome. And one thing, because this is such a fresh new offer, the first training will begin on the 24th, like I said, and so you guys will see that, and then over the next day or two I'm going to start emailing you all these bonuses, so you guys are going to have access. This is very fresh new stuff, and so I'm so excited. And David said I needed to make an excellent deal, and I think that's what I did for you guys.
That's outstanding, and adding that 4 payment plan is just amazing. So thank you so much for that one.
You're very welcome. Yeah, that's a huge additional bonus, and this is phenomenal. And David's right. He could have asked me for that, but I guess he believes in it so much as well that he's going to be doing that. Well, and that's outstanding.
Let me just show you something here because I want you to see it. I'm not kidding. There it is. I just purchased it.
That's awesome. He certainly did.
So
yep.
You guys need to be in here. I'm getting in here. I'm going to use some of these things. The things that come with developer rights are just amazing because that gives you more tools that you can actually make more money from. So that's and the PLR books and the templates and all of that. I mean, it's just unbelievable what you're offering these folks, Paul. So, you know, this is maybe one of the best offers I've seen in a long time. So thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I put on there April 22nd, but I'm not planning on leaving my office till I have all the links to everybody because there's so much I'm offering. I needed time to package it all together, and we had to make this a part 2. So here I am back in the office to make this part 2 training, and now I'm going to be sending out all these download links. So the reason you guys are getting a deal is because you're brand new to getting into this, and so that's why you guys are getting a whale of a deal because of that.
Okay. Bring your page back.
Okay.
So and I put the link in the
perfect.
I put the link in the chat box here, nams.ws/Paul Counts CB. That's the link that I clicked and I purchased from. So people can actually just go straight to that link in your chat box, click that, it'll open up in a new tab in your window or in your browser right now. It won't kick you out of here at all. Click that link and go straight over there and just sign up. This is as Jim says here, this is a ridiculously low price for everything that you've given us, Paul. Outstanding.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, the other thing is I want to say here is this is 3 hours of training that you've gotten for free. I
That's
mean,
true. Yeah.
it's just unbelievable what you've done for these folks here on Clickbank. And, you know, I can't wait to get more and more stuff implemented on Clickbank. So this is great.
I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Clickbank is a tremendous, Clickbank's a tremendous marketplace, a great platform for people. So,
but what you've taught us today too is if you take a look at everything that you taught,
yeah.
I mean, pop out the Clickbank and you've got 2 hours and 50 minutes from last week included, or last Wednesday included, of how to sell online. I mean, this is online training that's just outstanding. So
exactly. Yeah, this works. The sales copy strategies work on JVZoo. They work on Warrior Plus, Infusionsoft, Nanocast, wherever you're hosting your products. This will work for that.
So Mathis says, is this good until midnight? Now you had a fast action bonus here that people are going to get. How long will that fast action bonus be up?
I'll keep that open until midnight.
Okay.
I can definitely do that. Yep. Okay. I can definitely make that happen. So
they get the fast action bonus if they get in before midnight tonight, but they have to do it before then.
Yep. And because I like to do webinar only deals, you know, so,
yeah,
and absolutely. I see, yeah, my shopping cart's really good about putting in what time people sign up. So that way I know who qualifies and who doesn't for the fast movers.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great training, Paul. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're so welcome. I really enjoyed it. This is awesome.
Yeah, and you will be, I'm going to, by the way, we need to talk more. So after we get off of this, because I want to talk to you about our Insiders Club and about something coming up, and we want to get you into more training as we go, okay?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I saw what Melanie just said. She said, if this is free training, I cannot imagine this massive package. I am all in. So yeah. And someone else said, this can be applied to JVZoo. Exactly. Once you know how to set up this, it doesn't have to be on Clickbank, but I'm going to be teaching you how to create your product and how to get it live on any, and I'm actually going to teach a little bit about how I make my products live on JVZoo, only because a friend of mine wants to also do that. So it's actually nice because I have somebody that's brand new and he's going, make sure you cover this, make sure you cover that. So, which is good, you know, because I take for granted, because I've been at this for so long, I take for granted that people brand new are starting from a different area than I'm at, you know, so I want to make sure no stone is left unturned in that.
Well, let's just talk about that for just a second and then we'll close it down, because this whole thing about JVZoo versus your own shopping cart versus Clickbank, that really is the delivery mechanism. That's all you're talking about, right? And so when you get this process in place, there's no reason why you can't sell from all of those. You hit it on the head. Multiple channels, multiple streams of income. You know, like I have products on JVZoo and on Clickbank because I'm reaching two totally different audiences. Right. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks again and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you guys. You too. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.